Following video is not made for kids. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello to my subscribers, this is the TFNG coming to you with what will hopefully be a quick and successful review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Collaborative, I believe this is it's either the 30th or 35th anniversary, it doesn't really say what year. Anyways, this is the Collaborative Transformers Top Gun crossover figure named Autobot Maverick. Maverick was released, I believe, back in 2020, 2 years ago, and it took me a long time to get a hold of this figure because, unlike the other collaborative figures which were released either through Amazon, GameStop, or Target, Maverick here was originally released exclusively through Hasbro's own website, Hasbro Pulse, and there wasn't any major build-up or announcement leading up to Maverick's release date. The day that Maverick became available, that was the day that the figure was revealed to lots of people, and there wasn't any, because there wasn't any elaborate or, I don't know how to put it, there wasn't any time for fans to have a large fan base leading up to Maverick's release, along with the fact that it was released exclusively through Hasbro Pulse. Also, Maverick was a figure that didn't really sell that well, and it also hasn't been widely available as much compared to the other collaborative Transformers figures, and that's one of the reasons why Maverick has an average has been found going for $75+ here in the United States on the few websites that have gotten this figure in stock, such as Amazon or eBay, which is where I got this figure from. So it is a tad unfortunate because as far as overall physical appearance, because Maverick's vehicle mode is the F-14 Top Cat from the Top Gun movies, in keeping with the Jet's paint job, this figure is almost entirely light gray plastic, with the main paint job being some camouflage dirt marks found all over the top of the Jet mode. The bottom is unpainted, the light gray plastic is unpainted, so Maverick actually has one of the blandest paint jobs out of all the crossover figures. So here in the box you've got some logos from the Top Gun movie. I have to say this right now, I have never been a fan of the Top Gun films, so I don't really have too much appreciation for how much this figure is designed to be accurate to the films. Not unlike the other collaborative Transformers figures I've seen in Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, and Jurassic Park multiple times. I have not seen a single episode of the X-Men cartoon series for the X-Men crossover figure Ultimate Expanse, which I'm hoping to review in a few days. So I've never seen the Top Gun movie from the start, and that's one of the reasons why it took me so long to get Maverick and add it to my Transformers collection, because its exclusivity through Hasbro Pulse made it very hard to find. I mean, the fact that most scalpers sold the figure for close to $100, if not more, on Amazon and eBay. So it took a long time for me to find a price that I felt was decent enough to finally get it. So that's one of the reasons why it took 2 years for me to get Maverick and add it to my Transformers collection. So here on the back of the box you've got some information on Maverick. Maverick is call sign, the role is Interceptor, rank Lieutenant, special skills going vertical, weaknesses, Jet Wash, mission code name, Tango Foxtrot. So again, I don't really follow the Maverick movie, the Top Gun film, so unlike the other collaborative Transformers figures, I don't have too much extensive knowledge on how accurate this figure is to the overall appearance of the vehicle mode as it is in the movies. And as you can tell by the sticker on the bottom, this copy here was one that was released by Takara Tomy. So there you've got some Japanese product sticker on there. Same on the bottom, Japanese product sticker. And that's pretty much it. There's artwork of Maverick in his robot mode. And from what I've seen on watching other reviews use of this figure here on YouTube is that Maverick was actually the nickname given to Tom Cruise's character in the movies, but please correct me if I'm wrong on that. And so, reason why Maverick hasn't been too widely available, and one of the reasons why he goes for a lot of money. A lot of Transformers fans and collectors were put down by the fact that Maverick was the first of the collaborative Transformers figures where, unlike the first two collaborative figures that were released, which were Ghostbusters Ectotron and Back to the Future's Gigawatt, Maverick was sold in a packaging that actually resembles the movie that this new Transformers character comes from. After Maverick, Hasbro repeated the trend of the Transformers figures collaborative figures being released in boxes that more closely resemble the franchise that the character is coming from. Ultimate Expanse, which I got last year when it was released for the first time, he's sold in a box that is designed to look just like the old X-Men action figures that were released back in the 90s. Same thing with the Jurassic Park collaborative figure that was released just a few months ago. The packaging is designed to look like the Jurassic Park film. So that trend started here with Maverick, where instead of looking like original Generation 1 boxes, which is what Ectotron and Gigawatt, the first collaborative figures, were sold, and the collaborative Transformers figures now have unique style packaging that resembles the films or cartoon shows that they come from. So, from what I've seen, that was a bit of a put-off, and overall the attitude from Transformers fans and collectors with Maverick has been that you either like the figure and you want to get it to your Transformers collection, or you don't like it and it's an easy pass for you to not add to your Transformers collection. So there's been very little middle ground as far as overall how incredible of a Transformers figure or not so incredible figure that Maverick is. One thing I will point out is that there are some additional accessory pieces there. You got a motorcycle designed to look like the one Tom Cruise uses in the films. You got a volleyball, and you've got a pair of interchangeable hands that are open hands. I've seen from the reviews that Maverick comes with a pair of standard 5mm fist is inside the box, and you can interchange those with a pair of open hands so you can hold the volleyball that's used in the Top Gun movie. And the helmet that Tom Cruise wears in the films, that's what Maverick's head is designed to emulate. It's the blue motorcycle helmet used in the film. So without further delay, let's get Maverick out of his box and take a close look at him. I apologize for my voice breaking up there for a moment. Alright, so here is Maverick out of his box. And yes, like Ectotron and Gigawatt, I got two copies of Maverick. I originally wasn't going to, but I have an interesting story to share. This figure of Maverick, after I ordered it off of eBay, for 5 days, nothing happened at all. I tried to contact the seller in Japan multiple times to ask when they were going to get around to sending Maverick out, and when I complained to eBay that the seller in Japan wasn't selling Maverick, they told me that they would help me see if I could get a refund from the seller, which I did. And when I got the refund from that Japanese seller, I found another copy of Maverick that was being sold right here in the United States. But then, to my amazement, just a few days later, after eBay refunded me for the first copy of Maverick, the Japanese seller that I got it from sent it anyway for whatever reason. So I got a second copy of Maverick for free. So that's the amazing story I have to say about with this Transformers figure. So here is Maverick out of the box in his jet mode. A moment ago I had the wings folded back, and this is a feature of the F-14 Tomcat, is the retractable wings. This isn't the widest that the wings can open up. This is just the one that I feel is how far enough they have to be to be in a decent flight path. Here's the widest that the wings on Maverick can open up, and it's a pretty wide wingspan. I believe it's just as wide. The wings from wingtip to wingtip are just as wide as the jet itself is long from nose tip to the exhaust thrusters. thrusters at the back of the aircraft. After then, the wings are designed to fold back for high speed flights. Right, so that's pretty incredible looking. Pretty much the only gripe I have with Maverick in his jet mode is his accessory pieces, which are the missile pods. Odds on my copy, the missile pods don't sit well L on the wings, and right where the missile pods sit on the bottom of Maverick, there's a screw here that the wings rotate on, and officially you're supposed to try and have the missiles pointing straight forward, and there's even a little notch right here on top of the missile so that it can fit over the screw itself. But on this copy of Maverick that I took out of the box, my second copy from Arizona, these missile pods don't line up too well with those screws. So the entire gimmick of having the missile pods be able to go around the screws is rendered useless due to how they're shaped. And then of course you get these I called these missile pods a second ago. These are actually supposed to be fuel tanks, and these end up transforming into a pair of laser guns that Maverick can use in his robot mode. Unfortunately, for the actual missile pods themselves, unfortunately because of the way that they're shaped, they're just one-sided. There's literally nothing on the inside of them. Maverick can't really hold them well due to where the position of the 5mm peg is. Egg is on here, and even in the instruction sheet it shows to just leave them attached where they are in jet mode, which ends up being on Maverick's back when he's in robot mode. So unfortunately the missile pods are the most useless accessory pieces that Maverick comes with, even more useless than the volleyball and the motorcycle. I won't be bringing out those accessory pieces. I apologize for that, because I don't really see a use for those accessory pieces again, since they're just references to the movie. And then one transforming feature that Maverick has is that he's got this spy camera here on the nose of the jet mode. And if you want to, you can fold it away. And now he's got the more streamlined nose at the front of the jet. The nose cone ends up forming the center of the robot mode chest, so that camera is useless in robot mode. So jet mode's the only way that it can be utilized. That's why I had it flipped out for a moment there. Here, so opening the wings up one last time. I'm for a size comparison in jet mode. Here is Maverick next to Earthrise Starscream. So as you can see, the nose cones on the cockpits, they're almost the exact same shape, but the interiors are designed differently, and the overall sculpting of them is pretty different. It's kind of hard to tell with Maverick due to the paint splotches and all the tamper-graphed writing that's been attached to the surface of him. But despite the cockpits and the nose cones being of similar size and shape, it is all different molding. If you actually look at the nose cones close up, Maverick's nose cone is slightly thinner than Starscream's, and Starscream's curves at a shallower angle than Maverick's does. But it is remarkable how these designs of the F-15 Eagle and the F-14 Tomcat are pretty similar to each other. And in jet mode, this is pretty much the only place where Maverick shines, is that the underside of him does look like an actual jet, and it does make him from a front view look a lot more like a jet than Earthrise Starscream and the Decepticon Seeker jets do. So in jet mode, one of the positives that Maverick has going for him is that he does look like an actual jet, so he is much more of a robot in disguise than the Seekers are. But other than that, that's pretty much it for those tamper-graphed images I showed a moment ago. These, I believe, are from the movie. You got Maverick, you got Goose, the pilot's nicknames from the film. You got Rescue. Forgot what those white letters right there are Northrop Grumman, the manufacturer of these jets for the U.S. military. There you got markings here on the tail fins. You got the lights at the end of the wingtips are actually painted yellow, so that's a nice feature there. And of course, you got the jet's number of 114. And that's pretty much it. I've seen quite a few. I've seen a few collectors say that even though, this very light gray plastic, when it's unpainted and has nothing on it at all, looks very bland looking. The top side of Maverick's jet mode with all these blotched markings painted all over it, it doesn't really add to Maverick's overall look as a whole. Oh, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. In jet mode, Maverick is a very bland looking Transformers figure due to a vast majority of him being made in this light gray plastic. So Maverick would be a lot more interesting if he had a paint job similar to Starscream's, where it wasn't all light gray and he had other colors thrown in there. But as far as having colors, the only thing part of Maverick that's colorful is his robot mode head, due to it being shaped like the motorcycle helmet. One last feature in jet mode is that he does have a flip-out landing gear at the front of the jet, but on the back of the jet there's no landing gear at all. I've seen in a couple of reviews that if you want to give Maverick rear landing gear, one thing you can do is you can flip out the robot mode heel spurs, or you can have them acting as fake landing gear, so Maverick's jet mode can sit level on a ground surface. But the front landing gear here under the cockpit of the jet mode is the only actual landing gear. So with the heel spurs already flipped out, we will quickly get this guy transformed into robot mode and do a comparison with Starscream once again and wrap up the review. Alright, and here is Maverick transformed into his robot mode. And so as you can see, the most interesting looking feature about Maverick is his robot mode head. Again, it's designed after the motorcycle helmet from the movie. He even has his name printed on it, so you have no chance of forgetting that this guy's name is Maverick. And yes, one thing that does make Maverick somewhat special compared to the other collaborative Transformers figures is that he is an entirely brand new mold. Unlike Gigawatt, who was retooled from Siege Sideswipe, Ectotron from Combiner Wars Hotspot, and even the other collaborative figures that have been released recently. The only other collaborative figure that's an entirely new mold is one of the two figures in the Jurassic Park arc set, Autobot JP93. But yes, again, this light gray plastic, it gives Maverick a very bland looking paint job, especially in robot mode, with the underside of the jet becoming the front of his robot mode legs and the underside of the wings facing the front of his robot mode. Maverick actually looks more like a Transformers figure from the Studio Series line than from the collaborative line, which is meant to be a Generation 1 line. As far as articulation goes, his head is on a ball joint, but on this copy it's a little stiff, so I don't even bother with it. Arms can go forwards and backwards, but they have the potential to go forwards and backwards, but the wings are permanently fixed in there, so you can't really move the arms backwards. You got bicep swivels, which you do have to rotate on during transformation. The hands can go down and down. That's the only direction. So unfortunately, the only hand articulation, it looks like Maverick broke his wrist. And again, these hands are on swivel joints at the wrists, but that's actually designed that way to allow the gimmick of having to swapping out the fist hands with the more opened, flat, almost flat hands to hold the volleyball. No waist articulation due to how the figure transforms, but you got universal joints in the legs, so the legs can go forward and backwards almost 180 degrees. Maverick can almost do the splits. But when you rotate the legs out to the side, right, it feels like it's brushing on plastic. You got swivel joints right at the top of the thigh. You got hinged knees, which are very stiff, and I think that was the first time I actually use the knee on that leg since I took this figure out of the box when I got it a week ago. And there's a very slight ankle rocker in there, but it's very hard to maneuver due to how the robot mode feet transform. And that's pretty much it for articulation. Pretty standard amount of articulated joints on Maverick. And of course, for one last size comparison in robot mode, here's Maverick next to Starscream, and even though I'm holding them up in the air, I have their feet level with each other, so Maverick is actually a pretty tall-sized Voyager class Transformers figure. He's in between the height of a large Voyager and a small Leader class size Transformers figure. That's definitely one of the few features that Maverick has going for him, is that he is a taller sized Voyager class Transformer. And just to bring out another Transformers figure and to show just how tall Maverick is, again, even though I'm holding them up in the air, I'm holding them where their feet are level with each other, so if they were standing on a solid surface, this is how tall they'd be standing next to each other. So Maverick is a whole head taller than most Voyager class size Transformers figures. That was the Studio Series 86 sweep I brought out. So overall, on my final thoughts, some of the positives that Maverick has going for him is that he's one of only 2 collaborative Transformers figures that's an entirely brand new mold. He does look fairly accurate in jet mode to the F-14 Top Cat fighter jet from the Top Gun movies. He does have a cool looking robot mode head, with it being designed after the motorcycle helmet worn in the films. But unfortunately, he, just like his pros, he does have quite a few negatives going for him. Maverick is very difficult to get due to his exclusivity on Hasbro Pulse, and he has the blandest paint job out of all the collaborative Transformers figures, and this light gray plastic, even though it does make the jet mode look accurate, it doesn't really do anything for the robot mode at all. So my final thoughts, I believe Maverick is right down the middle. He's not the greatest Transformers figure to get, but he's not completely terrible either. So yeah, he is right there in the middle in being a mediocre level Transformers action figure in terms of how incredible he is. So as far as answering the final question of do I recommend getting Maverick and adding it to your Transformers collection, well, I only recommend getting this figure if you absolutely want to have a figure that's based off of the F-14 fighter jet from the Top Gun films. And if you can get over the negatives that I feel Maverick has going against him of his exclusivity and his bland paint job, and you just want to add another Autobot Transformers character that has a fighter jet for a vehicle mode, which is, if you actually look at all the Transformers characters that turn into jets, the ones that are Autobots, typically they're more science fictional looking jet aircraft that aren't based off of real life models of fighter jet, though those are typically Decepticons. So if you can get over all that, then Maverick is a pretty decent Transformers figure to have in your collection. But if you aren't really interested in how Maverick looks in robot mode, and you aren't really too much of a fan of how expensive he's going for due to the rarity of him being a Hasbro Pulse exclusive figure, as my voice is failing me, then Maverick unfortunately is an easy pass. Again, as I said at the start of the video, there's not really much middle ground with Maverick. You either absolutely love him, or you absolutely hate him. So, due to my experience with getting Maverick off of eBay, in which I got a second copy for free to keep in the box, I am with the small number of Transformers fans who enjoy having Maverick in their collections. But yeah, overall, as far as being a must-have Transformers figure, considering the fact that it took me 2 years to finally find Maverick at a decent price, unfortunately, this is one of the rare occasions where I'd say that the figure is an easy pass, unless you absolutely want to have this figure in your Transformers collection. So thank you guys all so much. Thank you to my subscribers for your continued support. This has been the TF Fan Geek, and remember guys, stay safe, stay healthy. More reviews will hopefully come within the next few days, and until next time, you guys, transform and roll out. Goodbye, everyone.